Welcome to the show. I'm Diana Stirling, and with the break in the winter weather, thought we'd get outside and enjoy the sunshine in beautiful Peachland. On today's show, we meet a special Olympian from Vernon. We find out more about the proposed Youth Resource Center in Penticton, and we get to spend some time with hockey legend Bobby Hull. Hockey great Bobby Hull was in Kelowna for Hockey Day in Canada. Fans had a chance to spend time with their idol, which is something that the Golden Jet loves to do.
I'll play a Jonathan Taves against a Connor McDavid, and then I'll put a Bobby Orr out there to take the whole deal.
Hockey legend Bobby Hull is as excited as a 9-year-old kid opening up packs of hockey cards on Hockey Card Day in Canada.
Lord Tundra.
Maybe we'll have to put a Bobby Hull on that set next year.
Well, let's do it.
These were just like department store skates that they paid you to put your autograph on?
Yep.
It's a chance for hockey fans, both young and old, to meet one of the greatest players to play the game. The first player to score more than 50 in a season, and a 2-time Hart Trophy winner as MVP, and 3-time Art Ross winner as scoring champion. Recently named one of the 100 greatest NHL players in history. Hull finished his NHL career with 610 goals, but just one Stanley Cup with the Hawks, a career highlight.
Winning this was very, very important. It turned out to be very important, but I was kind of young when I won this. 1961, I was 22 years old, and I thought, well, that was just one of many that we were going to win. As it happened, it was the only one as a club that we won. First 50th right there.
Hull and teammate Stan Mikita were credited with developing the big curves on sticks. And on this day, Player's Choice Sports Cards and Collectibles has one of those old sticks he used to score his 50th goal.
So 67, I don't know how many I scored after that. Likely 3, maybe 3 after that. For some of you kids that haven't seen the old, what they call this? The banana blade? Banana blade. There it is, folks. This is the lineup for tickets in 61.
In 1972, Hull gave instant credibility to the upstart World Hockey Association when he signed with the Winnipeg Jets and received a $1 million signing bonus.
I was the first athlete, first $1 million athlete, either 2-legged or 4-legged. Seabiscuit hadn't made $1 million yet. I just told him I wanted $1 million to get rid of him. Had I known they were going to raise the money, I'd have said 20 million, so they couldn't have raised it, and because I wanted to stay in Chicago.
Outside, the kids are celebrating Hockey Day in Canada by playing box hockey, a boisterous and tiring game. For some, they've never heard of Bobby Hull, but their parents sure have, and it's a real thrill for them to meet the player who tore up the sport in the 60s and 70s.
I got hurt playing hockey the other day, so we got a nice picture of him making like he's punching me in the face, so I think that'll be a keeper.
Turn your head a bit, Kev. There you go.
I spent an hour with him just before he died.
Oh, did you?
Wow, what a guy.
With a lot of the hockey greats like Jean Beliveau and Gordie Howe passing on, and Hull himself just turning 78, it means for some fans this might be the last time they get to meet such a Hall of Famer.
Sad when you hear of someone like Gordie Howe dying. Like, I never met Gordie Howe, so it's kind of unfortunate. But and same with like a Jean Beliveau. I never met Jean Beliveau, so that's kind of a regret. So yeah, so you come out and you meet these guys. Nice to see that they're still doing stuff like this.
Well, they're nearly as old as I am, so when we chat, we talk about the 60s. We kind of grew up together. That's the way they feel. This is a famous, and I don't want to mock anyone, but Gordon Howe did this to a young fella that became one of the greatest, if not the greatest player ever.
Oh yeah, Gretzky.
A kid by the name of Gretzky. He put the sticker around his neck and gave him a little tug. Fabulous.
One of the things that I love about Peachland is how the downtown is so close to the waterfront. And there's a few community groups here that are hoping to make the lake even easier to get to. They're proposing a fishing pier right here off of Heritage Park that will also be wheelchair accessible. We'll keep you updated on that, but now we're going to head to Penticton, where we'll meet some teens who are working really hard to raise funds for a proposed youth resource center.
So my name is Victoria, and today we are at a Yes Youth Advisory meeting. It's quite a lot of fun here. At the moment, we are currently working on a model of our youth center and what it looks like to us. All right, so this large Lego display could be seen around the community as we launch our fundraising campaign. It's basically a vision of what we want our youth center to look like, and it's produced by the youth.
I think a youth centre in Penticton is super important since there are lots of resources available, but lots of youth don't know about the resources or feel stigma accessing the resources. So what we want to create is a space where all the resources that youth need are in one space and that they can access it without feeling the stigma that some other centres may give them.
So this is Chris and this is Jacob, and I'm here to ask you guys why you think that Penticton needs a youth resource center. Wanna go first?
Yeah, I think it's important that we have a place where we'll feel safe, we can hang out, and we can get any assistance with pretty much anything we need, like whether it's mental health or finding a job, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Basic needs. What do you think, Chris?
Well, I think that if anyone doesn't know where to go or what to do or how to do things, it would be a good place for them to figure out how to do those things that they need in their life.
Sure, a basic place to get information, a little bit of help, and a ton of resource and support. Perfect. Thanks, guys.
So I'm a student at Princess Margaret Secondary School, and I've created a group called the Anti-Bullying Committee. We've been raising money, the group that I have, to give to Yes Project to help them build the resource center. We've done fundraising like the haunted house, which we hosted. We also done stuff like we raised money by selling coffee, which McDonald's has donated to us. We've done bake sales. We even Christmas caroled over the winter break to spread some awareness. I got involved with Yes Project in around September, and ever since then I've been helping them give ideas for the resource center, what we can do, and doing some fundraisers about it.
So I'm Mia McBride. I've been part of the Yes Project for the past 2 years. So one really special thing about this project is that it's almost completely youth driven. So not only is there a youth advisory committee, but there's also a youth steering committee. So a group of 3 of us is on this youth steering committee. So all the big decisions that are being made with community members all have a youth voice behind it. So we're there to represent the youth voice of those who are in need and those who are struggling.
So a bit of background on the Yes Project. There was a donation given to United Way and the Community Foundation for more youth resources and research in the community. They decided to pool the money together and start what they called the Yes Project. This started as a series of research events at schools and at student and youth-run initiatives, asking young people what kind of resources they were lacking in the community and what kind of support they needed to be successful. Basically, what we discovered is that there's a lack in mental health education, awareness, support, and resources, as well as youth needed a place to hang out, a safe place where they could come, be comfortable, welcome, talk about issues if they had them, and just feel welcome with their friends. So this launched the 3 pillars of the Yes Project. Basically, the first one is free and accessible activities and resources for young people in the community. So during the off season, when there's not much to do, not many fun activities, we created movie nights and bowling nights and things for kids to do where they're not creating their own fun and experimenting with drug and alcohol abuse. Basically, this keeps youth off the streets. It gives them a safe place to hang out, and it makes Penticton a more fun place for young people. The second one being the public awareness campaign. So that's the idea of figuring out what resources are lacking in this community for young people, as well as reaching out and showing the community that there are young people doing amazing things, and there are positive young people trying to make a difference. This also incorporates community members in the conversation about mental health, about youth resources, and about giving young people an opportunity and a voice to make decisions in their community. The last pillar is the Youth Resource Center. That's a project that's greatly underway right now with much community involvement as well as organizations and community members helping out in these decisions. The prototype, of course, is being built right here, and we have youth voices telling us what kind of resources need to be built. The end goal of the Youth Center is to create a safe, inclusive space for young people to come and get the resources and support that they need in this community.
I think it's really important that we have a youth center because lots of the youth during our time have really struggled with mental illnesses like anxiety, depression. People also have stuff like bipolar disorder, OCD, and it's really good to spread awareness about that because a lot of people don't really know about what these mental illnesses are and they don't have any knowledge about them. And showing what we know can really help people find out about basically what this resource center is all about.
Part of our project is youth engagement. That's allowing the youth a voice in the decisions that are being made for them in our community. And this Youth Resource Center will be providing them not only with resources, but also support.
So I'm in grade 11 at Penn High, and lots of friends and fellow students that I know would really benefit from having a center like this. We see that the struggle is very prevalent in our school community, so I think having something like this would really help better the lives of lots of the students.
I've been with the Yes Project for the last several years, and I must say I am completely blown away by the passion, dedication, and empathy youth have for their peers in the community. It's really amazing actually to see them helping each other and advocating for each other and volunteering their time to help each other out. It means so much to me, and I think it makes a big difference in our community. One of the really unique things about the Yes Project is that youth engagement is valued and incorporated in all levels of the project. So as you can see here today, we were visioning and kind of playing around with Lego to see what our floor plan could look like for our youth center. And while there's definitely architects to talk to and service providers, this is definitely the first step, and youth engagement is our #1 priority. For more information about the Yes Project, you can visit our website at www.pentictonyouth.ca. You can also visit us on Facebook, or you can call the Community Foundation up. There's numerous ways that we're looking for support from the community, whether it is financial donations, in-kind donations, if you're interested in advocating or being a part of our project. Our project supports youth 12 to 24, and we're always looking for more youth to join our Youth Advisory Committee. So we're looking forward to Penticton stepping up and helping support youth in our community. Until next time, take care.
The Special Olympics World Winter Games are coming up in Austria, and we have a number of Okanagan athletes that will be attending. Up next, we meet a young man out of Vernon who will be competing for cross-country skiing.
My name is Justin Siegel, and I am about to compete in Special Olympic World Winter Games in Austria.
He'll be competing in the 5 kilometer and the 2.5 kilometer events, and he's going with quite a group of other athletes. I believe in the cross country there's probably roughly 17 from Canada.
I'm going from Vernon. There's 2 people coming from Kelowna, Francis and Tracy. We're coming with 2 doctors, couple of mission staff, 4 or 5 coaches.
To get to this point, it's a 4-year process. So you start off with, Justin started off with regionals and qualified, did well enough to advance, then to provincials the next year. And then from there he qualified to go to nationals, which was last year in Corner Brook, Newfoundland. And in Corner Brook he competed and he ended up with a gold and a silver, and enough points in the right categories to allow him to go on to Worlds this year if he was willing to put the commitment in. And they do require quite a commitment to proceed forward.
I've been training since August. I've been hiking and working out at Snap Fitness, and it's been skiing. I started in December up at Sovereign Lake, working on sprints, intervals, starts. It's been really hard work and focus, 4 times a week.
And he had the base from cross country before, and he just keeps advancing and getting stronger all the time in technique, and it just gives you an activity to keep fit and stay healthy, and that's a big part of what Special O offers the people with intellectual disabilities.
3, 2, 1. Come on. One last sprint. Let's go. Give it your all.
Justin's working really hard. He skis Tuesday nights up at Sovereign. He has his coach, Dudley, so he can help him out with all the race tips. He's quite a good racer.
Justin's very persistent. He really wants to compete, and I think he really wants to do well. So, you know, some athletes are out there just for the fun of it. They're not too concerned about competing, but Justin really likes the competition. So,
on Saturdays, Justin's going to Kelowna and working with the Kelowna Special O group, and several coaches there. and quite a few people that are involved in helping him progress and get ready for the Worlds. We're going as well, looking forward to seeing him in action in Austria.
He does have obviously a deep passion for the sport that's been going on since he was 8, like he said. So that combined with his craving for competition is going to be a recipe for success.
Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt.
In late 2016, a documentary filmmaker screened a project that was many years in the making. It's about female athletes in India who are competing at a world-class level in the boxing ring.
It's a film about a champion women boxer from India, and I randomly found out about it when I was in Montreal. I went to a World Press photo exhibit, and I saw a photograph of women boxers practicing on the beaches of Madras, and I thought to myself, there's women boxers in India. And I went home and I researched whatever I could have found about them, and there was very little about them at the time, but what I did discover fascinated me, is that they had some of the best in the world, and they're from some of the more rural areas of India. So right away, I knew what they would be up against because my parents immigrated from India. We saw firsthand the challenges that they were up against, and we really wanted to portray the complexity of the challenges that they were up against. It wasn't just, yes, the social stigma. I mean, a woman of that age, these women are of an age where they're supposed to be getting married and having children, and they're completely dedicating their entire life to the sport of boxing. They train year-round. I mean, we lived alongside the boxers for months at a time. We went on 4 production trips to India. And I mean, the food was subpar, and these are athletes competing at an international level. The electricity would often cut out, running water. I mean, they washed their own clothes, and it was tough. It was tough circumstances. I mean, we definitely found it challenging. And on top of that, there was politics that were in the sport as well that they have to encounter. And that is discussed as well in the film. With This Ring took Anna and I 10 years to complete. It has been a very long journey for us, and a difficult one, to be quite honest. And it was our intention to finish the film in 2006. It just took as long as it took. It's the nature of documentary. So we got to India, and it took time to gain the trust of the head coaches and the boxers, and for them to figure out what we were doing. It was honestly a blessing in disguise, because I believe the strength of this film is the fact that it chronicles the lives of these characters over such a period of time, over 6 years. You see the ups and the downs, twists and turns. You see character development occur. To be able to finally screen it for live audiences on a big screen, well, that's everything. And it eventually will go online, because that's how films are seen these days. And that's great, because the outreach is incredible once it's online. For us, it's just about viewership. But to have the opportunity to have these film screenings and festivals, we had the world premiere in Mumbai, and we didn't know how Indian audiences would react, and they reacted very favorably. Full house, standing ovation. It was wonderful. The boxers have seen it. Yeah, we had a special screening for them, and they really enjoyed it. They reacted a lot during the making of the film. They cried, they laughed, and it was really wonderful to finally share it with them after all these years, because they were like, what are these girls doing? Even the concept of a documentary, like, they kept asking us, what is it you're making exactly, and why do you keep coming back year after year, and when will you be done? And so to finally show them what it was all about was very satisfying. If anyone wants to find out more, all the information is on our website, including upcoming screenings and when it'll be available online. So that's withthisringfilm.com.
Well, we didn't make it the entire 11 kilometers of waterfront here in Peachland, but we did make it to the other end of town, and we lost our hint of sun along the way, so I put my winter jacket back on, but I know that spring is just around the corner. Thank you so much for watching today, and if you have any story ideas, please send them to Shaw TV Okanagan.